So here's another video about the blackwater aquarium. I recently did a rescape and I'm just going to talk about what I did to the tank and why I did it. So this is the tank as it is at the moment before the rescape, just showing you, the wood and the bits of materials that I have in there, like the seed pods, and I had some leaves in there, but they rotted away. They don't last long in the water. Also some bogwood. So I have 7 neon tetras in here, doing really well. And the rescape mainly is because the black water coloration in the tank is sort of running out. The materials are losing their potency, such as the leaves, the seed pods, even the cinnamon stick, and the bogwood I have in there. That's not really releasing any tannins either. So the plan is just to add like a load of leaves, oak leaves, and that'll sink to the bottom and give a really natural look to the tank and release some tannins also. The tank's quite dirty as well, so whilst I'm doing the rescape, I'm obviously going to clean it all and everything like that as well. So these are the roots of the pothos that I have in here. The pothos is a brilliant plant. I've done a video on it before and I put it in all my tanks, but it does really well in this little tank. And as you can see by the size of the plant, it must be absorbing quite a lot of nitrates and other harmful chemicals from the water, just really improving the water quality, especially when a plant's thriving this well. It must be really beneficial to the tank. It was growing that well that it was starting to grow across the carpet as well, so I had to trim that and put the trimmings back into the water. So one of the main reasons that I did a rescape on this tank is because of this plant here, the Attribution-ShareAlike. It's a type of sword plant, and I've actually managed to grow it emerged out of the water, and it should grow a lot bigger than this as well. It's a really nice plant, but I've got it in these glass mini jars at the moment, and the roots are taking over, so I'm going to root it into the substrate. This is a Dwarf water lettuce, really nice floating plant. I only put a few in here to begin with, and I've ended up with loads now. So it's a really nice plant, really good, along with the pothos, really good at reducing those nitrates. So I recommend the Dwarf water lettuce. You only need a couple and you'll soon end up with the whole surface of the tank covered, which is really nice. So before I start messing with the tank, I'm just getting all this Dwarf water lettuce out, because every time you put your hand in there, it all sticks to your hand. So I'm just going to clear this up for now, put it in this little pot, this little container, and then I'll put it back in once it's done. It just gets in the way. It's a really nice plant. It's doing really well as well. There's not many dead ones or yellowing of the leaves. It's mostly all green, looking really healthy. So I'm removing the wood. This is bogwood and it's quite thick, and usually it releases a lot of tannins into the water. It really makes the water dark, which is what I wanted. But because I've had the wood for a while, it's already done that, and I think it's running out of tannins to produce. It's not leaching much anymore, so I've took that out. I'm also, like I said before, I'm replanting this Attribution-ShareAlike, just because, as you can see from the root structure, it's outgrown its little glass pots. So I'm going to put these straight into the substrate. I'm going to have to build up quite a thick layer of substrate in that area that I want the plant, probably about 2 inches thick, and then I'm going to put these plants in there. This is the second one. As you can see on this one, the roots are just curling round and round. I don't want to starve the plant of any nutrients, so I'm going to put the plants straight into the substrate. and there the roots will be able to grow outwards and find any nutrients that it can. So I'm just building up the layers of substrate, get it nice and deep, just so I can plant them in. And as you can see, these are the plants now, planted nice in there. I forgot how dirty this water would get once I start messing with it, because of the materials in there, like the leaves and the seed pods and everything, because they've all like decomposed and rotted away. They've settled at the bottom, almost like dust. And by me mixing all the substrate up, trying to create that thick layer, I've stirred up a lot of dirt. Like you can see in this net here, I just put the net in and just swing it round, making sure I don't get any fish in there obviously. Just swing the net round, collecting any of that mess in there. This is a cinnamon stick. It's another piece of material that releases tannins, and as you can see, it's really decomposed inside this stick here. You can see the insides of the bark, and it's all coming apart in my hands. But I want to keep it. I think it can still provide a very natural look and release some more tannins. Also, this is a type of seed pod as well that I put in there, and this is just really soggy, really decomposing. I'm gonna leave it in there just for that natural look. You can't just take everything out because it's decomposing, because you know that was the look I was going for really. It's a really natural feel to the tank, especially with the black water. That's the whole purpose of the design. So I've removed the wood. The wood wasn't really working. You know, every time I put my hand in there to do some cleaning on the glass or to do anything with the tank, I was always worried that I'd knock the wood. And knocking the wood would result in a lot of mess getting stirred up and stuff, so I just took the wood out, because like I said before, it's not really releasing any tannins anymore, so I've just got stones and that nice mixture of substrate in the bottom there. I think it looks really nice, really natural, you know, like a riverbed. So the water's really dirty still, so I'm going to do a 50% water change just to get rid of all that, really just the bigger particles, because I don't want it all collected in the filter, even though a lot of it will. So I've done a big water change and then just top the tank back up then. As you can see, the water's a lot clearer already, but every time you mess with it and you disturb the substrate, you're just going to create a cloudy water again. So it's best to just leave the filter running, give it about a day, and the water should be a lot clearer. I really like the plants here. I've got the pothos in one side and I've got the Echinodorus on the other, so you can sort of get the design I'm going for. Now for this Echinodorus, it's a heavy root feeder like an Amazon sword. It's got those big roots, so I'm just going to provide it with some more nutrients by adding these root tabs. I don't add any fertilizer or CO2 to the tanks, any of my tanks, so I'm just going to use these root tabs because they last about 3 months. And because it's a big plant and it's a heavy root feeder, I'm going to add one of these Seachem root tabs to each. The Seachem root tabs are quite expensive, but they are really good, so I'm going to put one of those on each, and I'm going to put some of these custom ones in there. You can get these off eBay really cheap, or you can make them yourself. I've gone over these before and they're quite cheap, so I'm going to add one of those to each plant as well. You just bury it in a substrate right next to the plant, next to its roots. It should be fine. It provide the plant with a lot of nutrients for a long time really. Now the main design of this tank was me adding a lot of leaves to get that really natural river bottom look. So I bought these oak leaves. I can actually get these in England, but it's a winter now, so maybe next year I'll get my own. I'll just go searching for some, but in this case I bought 100 oak leaves from eBay, dried oak leaves. I must have put about half the pack in there, you know, probably 30, 40, 50 leaves. I obviously added more later on, but you can see here I've just whacked all the leaves in. It'll take about a day, 2 days to sink. So just put them in the water, make sure they're partially submerged at least, and then give it a couple of days and they should sink. But this should provide some tannins and a really nice natural look. So as you can see here, you know, that the bottom of the tank looks really natural, and it's, you know, it's really cheap. It's a really cheap escape, really simple. I haven't really thought about it. I've just put some rocks in. Those rocks are from my garden as well, the smooth round boulders. Just put some stones in and just put a load of leaves in, and you know, you've got a simple scape. And the reason I like simple scapes like this is because, you know, I can put my hand in there and mess around with it. I can do anything I want, and I don't have to worry about knocking some wood over or anything being fragile, or, you know, I don't want to prop anything up against each other in case it falls. So you know, you got a really simple scape here that's just going to last a lifetime really. Obviously the leaves will all decompose and I'll have to start replacing those, but that'll take a long time. And just immediately after doing the scape, it just looks nice. It looks natural. So if you have any comments on this tank or what I've done, then please ask in the comments below, and I'll answer those. You know, I'll try to take some really nice shots this time of the fish, and some close-ups of the scape and stuff like that, just so you can see in more detail, because it always looks better in real life than it does on these videos. And obviously I'm not a professional photographer or anything like that, obviously, but I just tried to get like a bit of a better feel for the scape that I've done, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, any questions, please comment and I'll answer them. And if you like the video and want to see more of this tank and my other tanks and what I'm doing with them, then please subscribe, and also like the video as well if you like it. Thanks for watching.